How we doing, people? Steve Pontecorvo, TNV Clothing. I'm with my bud here.
Jumping, Exchange FC was really good, Steve.
What's going on? We're back with the people, talking a little footy, talking Metro soccer, talk maybe a little bit USA now that we've won a couple games. Hey, what do you think? Beat the
Oh, a million
Aussies?
percent, a million
Beat the
percent, man.
Aussies, mate.
Now's the time, man. USA, big two big games where they were down and they came back. This was a good little window for them, man. I'm excited. Led by a local guy on from NYFC, Matt Freeze, goaltender, absolute savage. Yeah, dude, it's good, man. USA soccer right now is thriving, man. Right at the perfect time. They were catching a little heat for the past couple of windows because they weren't doing what they had to do. But this is good, man. I'm digging it. I love that you brought that up.
Yeah, of course. It's good to see. I mean, we had an international window, so no MLS play. I think there was one game in the week, just some catch-up
Miami.
games in LA, LAFC versus Austin, just to get everything aligned at 33 games. So we had a little international window here. Big, I mean, it's big. I mean, it's big in the world of soccer. World Cup qualifying, a lot of cool stories going around. You can't not, bring it up. USA is another good one. We played a good match against Ecuador. I know a lot of people probably were watching that one. Finished 1-1. We got to see Balogun score a goal, and it was super good to see Haji Wright score too. Because that's what we
Yeah.
need, man. We need those guys to get confidence and bag a couple goals. Guys who are not named Christian Pulisic. And we saw him come off the field injured, which is
Yeah.
big. It's big. It's a big year for USA soccer. If you're a soccer player in America, I mean, this is big for you too, because this team represents all of us.
Yeah. I'm excited for what's to come for USA. People always ask me, they're like, but your family's from Colombia. Why? It's just the way the cookie crumbles, man. I'm USA. Listen,
And you
somebody
can
asked me if,
follow Colombia, you know what I mean? You can still root for Colombia too.
yeah, and I do, but I would rather see USA win a World Cup before I saw Colombia win.
Now that's an interesting statement. Coming from
Yeah,
the
yeah,
exchange here.
yeah. Because, dude, you know what,
How
man?
can you
Like,
say that in front of Valderrama or whatever his name?
he's my favorite player ever. But come on, man. Like, yo, man, these guys are all from around here. Like, how could you not? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
I
How
know.
could you not, man? Such a relatable group of guys. We've been fortunate enough to meet a few of the guys, interview a few of the guys. Like, come on, man. Matt Freeze being like a local guy. Dude, come on, man. It's the best.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This area has a huge influence on the USA team. It was known last World Cup actually too. I think about five of the guys on the roster were from New York and New Jersey combined. So you got Tyler Adams, you had Matt Turner, you had Brendan Aronson, Matt Freeze. Remind me, I think he's from Michigan. Sorry, I
I
don't
think
know.
he's PA.
Yeah, he's PA. We got some PA guys in there, but a lot of guys from Philly to New York to Jersey. I'd say this area is one of the most competitive soccer areas in the United States. I mean, from all youth levels into MLS until MLS's next pro, which is the new league that's conjoined with the MLS. We're seeing that being launched, and that's very competitive too. So it's a big thing for the United States to be good. They got to lead the charge here.
And the people that are coming out into these games are crazy. Like, did you see Red Bull Arena yesterday for the Columbia game? It was packed, man. So it's good to see. They need to start to come out for the Red Bulls.
Well, good luck. International soccer is just different. Come on, you know that. Like,
No,
I
I
think
know.
that's when I first even got into the game. Like, I was messing with different countries and like, it was easy. You know what I mean? And it's good because everybody's on this. We're all on the same team here, right? It's a fight for a common cause. It's good. I don't have to root against Matt Freeze here. I'm on the Freeze train right now.
I love it. I love it.
Pro zone.
Speaking on the train, let's take the train to Harrison real quick.
Okay.
What's happening, man? What are we thinking going into this last game of the season? We've kind of touched on everything over the past few weeks, even on the other outlet. Last week, our first rollout of this project. What's happening, man? Like, what are we thinking going into this week? What could possibly come out of this game as a plus?
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack. Obviously, once the season ends, but for right now, it's still a lot of figuring out and looking around, looking for answers. I think we have a lot of questions that don't have the answers right now. Unfortunately, Sandro won't have the answers. All he can really do with this last game is experiment. And that's really all we can do with this roster. I'd say throw Julian Hall in there, make sure he starts, get the few things that were working this year and try to put them on the field. I know he's going to want to start Chupo and Emil, which is fine. Probably take them out though at some point and see what else you got in the midfield. You got to figure out what are we doing in the back. Are we keeping these guys? Is it going to be the same guys? Because they weren't very fast. And like we said, the league is going, quicker and quicker each year, so we got to figure that out. Are we going to bring someone else in? Are we going to get rid of Tim and Sean and some of these local guys and bring in someone else? And then what are we going to do on the wing? So like I said, a lot of questions, not a lot of answers just yet until we finish out this last Columbus game. What do you think?
It's wild what happened, this season. And, it sucks that this last game means absolutely nothing. But it would be cool, like you said off the air, if they could play spoiler and ruin somebody else's, seeding or something like that. But I doubt it. I don't even know if, how do you go through the motions of this? How does a guy like Carlos Coronel go through the motions of knowing that you're not going to be here next year, but you just have to still go and play this game? You know what I mean? How do you do that?
It's hard. I mean, a lot of athletes have to go through this. Unfortunately, sometimes you got to just play for your heart, play for passion, all that stuff. That cliche thing. I mean, you got to wear your heart on your sleeve out there. I mean, you got to leave everything out there. So, I mean, you're playing for contracts and stuff. There's other things to play for. But Columbus, they're not going to miss out or drop playoffs. They're in 9th. Chicago's in 8th. But Columbus could jump up and get to an 8 or a 7 seed if they beat the New York Red Bulls. So Columbus will be probably putting out their best roster and going for this game. So I wouldn't be surprised if Red Bulls fold in this one and lose. I'm gonna give my prediction right now. I'll give you a 3-1 loss. But yeah, Columbus will be gunning for us in this game, 100%. Especially with not scoring last time out in Sports Illustrated Stadium.
And then also the bigger picture, which is just a game on the road. It's been the issue all year, right? So games on the road are usually a dub anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm saying, Jumpy. I think a lot of Red Bull fans have already thrown the flowers to the grave here and have been like, all right, the season's done. I mean, we've had a little break. It's strange that we got to just play this rubber game here. It doesn't mean much. This is something new for the franchise. First time in 15 years this hasn't happened. So there's a whole generation of Red Bull fans that don't even know what this feeling is like. A lot of people are checked out already, which is understandable.
Yeah. You know what's really crazy too, Steve? That they made it to the final last year, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then this year you don't make the playoffs, you ruin the streak. But it's you almost saw it coming. And then we were talking about off air, the article that came out about how they got what they needed in Choupo-Moting, and they did. Dude, he was worth every fucking penny. And you don't do what you have to do with the rest of the pieces. And you're going to say the injuries, which is true. But Chupo was a godsend to this team. If Emil and him are on any other team, that team is competing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, what you're referencing is Matt Doyle came out with an article just kind of giving the Eastern Conference teams who didn't make playoffs a little roundup. So he covered Red Bulls and mentioned a few good points. Yeah, given the fact that Chupo is his old guy and he came over here at his age and we didn't know what to expect. I mean, we thought he'd be hurt maybe throughout the season. We didn't know what we were going to get from the dude, but we knew he had experience, played at PSG, played against some of the big teams. So we got what we wanted, kind of. But that's why it sucks, because if we fucking wasted an entire good year of Chupo and a decent year from Forsberg as well. How many times did Forsberg save our ass on a free kick this year? A few results came off of that. And then Chupo scored all the goals. So if it wasn't for those two, this team would be probably in last place. So a big jump off from last year. It's hard to compare that finals run to this year because it's five, I mentioned in previous podcasts before, we've missing 5 different players from that roster that made a huge influence. Starters, Dante, Lewis, J-Mai, Andreas, and the Cup. Yeah. So this year was different. It was a different dynamic. It was centered around Chupo, but we just didn't give him any extra help Sofo was the next biggest scorer. We didn't have any other help. Where 2024 was done by committee, was done by good defense, was done by good performances. We grinded out results. This year, we came up short. We came up short up front when it mattered most, and then when we had to close the door on teams, we couldn't do it. Perfect example is NYCFC. So yeah, wasted year for Chupo, and it sucks because he's tore it up at this age. So what do you think he has that again in him next year?
I think so. I think so, man. He looks like a guy that hasn't missed a step. He was a good get, man. I was against it at the beginning because I'm like, he didn't play for 2 seasons, but yeah, he was well worth it. And I think that he comes back, with a different kind of chip on his shoulder. But I also think the person who comes back with a big chip on their shoulder will be Emil, because Emil took the team to the final, hit the post in the final. Dude, they would have built a statue for that guy if he scored that goal. But he misses. I mean, they don't get a win, but they get there with him. I think he wants to get back there, and he does what he has to do all off season. I would hope to take this thing to a next level.
I would hope, but he needs some capos next to him. He needs some real men.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got too many young guys who were getting off the streets here and just plugging them away. We didn't really have too much. I mean, and those young guys didn't take that next step this year. That was the problem.
But you know what? That's also another thing. Like next year, you'll have guys that have been there, done that. Learn how to do the traveling. So you're going to get a different group of vets. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
I just
what's your one bright spot of the team if you had to say one positive thing? Is it Chupo scoring all those goals, or is it something else like, Julian Hall kind of, making some effect on the team?
I think it's the first. I think, like we started with, I think Choupo-Moting was easily the brightest spot on the team because we didn't know what to expect from him, and he was worth every single penny, worth his weight in gold, man. You can. Even on NYC, like their guy that's weight in gold, Alonso Martinez, you can't. Like guys like this on a team, like you could only hope that you get a guy like this, and both sides got one. But Chupo was it for the team this year. He was really good, man. Really, really, really good.
Yeah. All that we could hope for. So he has another year, then he's an option. So we'll see where it goes from there. Good to see him get called up by Cameroon, too. A few of our guys got some international call ups, some of the younger guys. I know Julian Hall will be playing in the U17 World Cup for USA.
US.
So that's great for Julian Hall. Just wanted to bring that up.
There were a couple guys. I think Wiki too, right? Was
Yeah.
international.
Yep.
Who else? The kid from Panama.
Omar Valencia as well.
Yeah, Omar Valencia.
Yep.
Carlitos.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
good to
bro.
see. It's good to see. The international call ups, like we said before, start of the show. Little international windows always sometimes can be interesting, especially when a World Cup's coming up. But yeah, man, I think that's a bright spot, and I also think we were only just seeing the best of Julian Hall. We need someone else to be there other than Chupo, and if it's not going to be Victor Bogarts, maybe can it be Julian Hall? I mean, he scored a good goal against Monterrey, and then he scored a nice one against NYCFC. I'm looking for one of the young guys to take that next step this year, because usually that is a big bright spot for this club, and I just don't know. It's between him and Sofo, really, for that role. We didn't see it from Serge. We didn't see it from Dennis Barr. He didn't get the minutes again. I don't know why. And we didn't see it from Wiki. He had plenty of opportunities. Me and you know that. And we didn't see it from a lot of the other younger dudes. So, Omar played decent, but there's still room to grow for this team. Still a lot of room to grow.
Yeah. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%.
Do you think this is on Sandro? Like coming into next year, do you think Sandro's on the hot seat?
I mentioned it a couple of times also. I think because he went to the final last year, that kind of saves you a little bit. It saves face for a little bit. But you have to, this year coming up, you got to show something. But also, like, I'd like to know, like, does he think that the team has given him all the pieces needed to succeed? And I think we could all agree no. Especially after all their injuries went down. They left the DP spot open. Like, they didn't do their due diligence by him this season.
They got to fill that DP spot or get a winger or somebody. We can't kind of rely on Lewis. Lewis is hurt for the second time now.
Yeah.
So we really need to back Sandro, or the board needs to back Sandro in some form of way, which is, I asked him, and like I said, and he said everybody's great, that he talked to everybody. So somebody's not saying something, and I think I know who it is. We all know who it is, and hopefully we'll find out more for everybody in the audience who's listening, more about that when we talk to Schneider and maybe Julian. We'll see about, what happened during the transfer window and where they, think the team's going, what direction they're trying to take this fucking thing. So we gotta find out where is the train heading. So right now we're in Harrison, but we can make a quick pit stop over to New York City because it looks like they're going to be in playoffs.
Yeah. Dude, they're right there with Charlotte for a home game. For a home game. Like and dude, this was a team that at this beginning of the season, people were saying this coach was being set up like for disaster, that this wasn't gonna work. And Pascal has done it, man. Like, shout out to Pascal, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to Pascal, man.
Pascal needs a lot of credit for what he's done. Also, big pickup was Julian Fernandez. He's really elevated that team and fit in, I think, seamlessly. And they got a bunch of young, hungry guys too. A little South American flair on that
Nico
team.
Fernandez has been the best signing of so
Nico
far.
Fernandez,
Yeah.
obviously helps having a good goalkeeper. Maxi Morales, yes, he's like 100 years old, but
But he's a savage.
dude has wisdom. He's experienced. He's probably good in the locker room for those guys. So yeah, honestly, no one really saw it coming. But give it credit to Pascal for putting it all together and getting the results needed to give them put in that position. But the table is so tight that I think they need to get a result in their game. Otherwise, they could drop down a peg or two.
Yeah. So they need Philly to win. I mean, yeah, Well, Philly's
Right now,
playing.
they'd be playing Charlotte. It'd be New York
Yeah.
City FC versus Charlotte right now.
No. Yeah. Philly plays this week against Charlotte, and they could possibly, if they lose, how is it? If they lose,
They
they
could
go
drop down
down.
to sixth.
Yeah.
But Nashville's got to win, so that's what I'm saying. There's some things at play. Nashville's playing Inter Miami, so I don't know if that's gonna happen. Yeah, I think City's gonna probably, looking at it now, that will probably look like a first round matchup. If both teams lose, things will stay the same, and you'll have a home and home or a 3-game set, whatever the hell you want to call this playoff format. New York City FC versus Charlotte FC, which will be very interesting. I'll have my eyes definitely on that one.
That was a good game the last time they played too.
Yeah, it was a good game. Those
That was a
teams
good game.
would go against each other very well. Just sucks to be out of it. This is gonna be a weird feeling when it hits. I feel like officially for people on the red side.
Do
But
you
it's not
still watch? Do you
all
still
doom and
watch?
gloom. But yeah, of course. I keep up with the MLS always. This is the American League, and I feel like a lot of people should still keep up with it. I mean, as we all know, we struggle as MLS fans to get in with the bigger leagues and be more relevant, whether it be in a day to day or even online or just in a culture movement type of way, just to affect in people's lives. MLS has not been that. It's been absent in a lot of people's living rooms. It's been absent in a lot of people's conversations. It's kind of still kind of been to the wayside, and a lot of the bigger teams in the international tournaments, they take precedent. We see that with them filling up Red Bull Arena, or Sports Illustrated, whatever. Still gonna call it RBA.
I know.
Right, Tyler Adams is with me on that one. If you saw his interview, he's like, "I'm still gonna call it Red Bull Arena."
Yeah.
Like, how can you not? And Sports
That's it.
Illustrated Stadium, it doesn't roll off the tongue. Right? Come on. I think they were gonna call it Sports Illustrated Arena, but even that doesn't sound fucking great either. I don't know. It could go back eventually. They don't.
No.
I mean, but they're contracted for like fucking 8 years or some shit. So
Exactly.
it ain't
So
changing.
next
It ain't changing
isn't that.
anytime soon. So that's gonna be cool one day. We're gonna look back and be like, yeah, that was it used to be called Red Bull Arena. And you know those baseball fields too, or just certain like places like I'm right. You're watching the Mariners game. I'm like, that's Seiko Field, dude.
Yeah,
Like that's Seiko Field.
that's
They're like
Seiko.
a T-Mobile Park. I'm like, what the fuck is that shit?
Yeah, dude. But you know what? It's also somebody else said the same thing to me about. We were talking about the Commanders and the Redskins and the Indians and the Commanders, and I was like, dude, they're always going to be the Indians and the Redskins to me. That's it. Like that's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's a
Always.
generational thing, man. It's a big cultural thing. Changing a name, relocating a team.
Yeah.
It's big. I mean, look, you got one right behind me. I mean, this is literally the trajectory of almost how you ruin a franchise right here. You move them to Brooklyn.
Dude, I went when they were in the finals. I went.
I know it was big in Jersey. It was big in New Jersey, and the Metro
Brendan
Spurs
Byrne
was big
Arena.
in New Jersey too. They
Huh?
really were.
Yeah, dude.
New Jersey had a lot of sports influence in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
They really did.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
get me into it. We're going to stray into a whole different stratosphere over here, but we'll try to keep it soccer oriented for the most part. Hanging
I
out
know.
with the
I know. I know.
feels good crew. We're going to try to spice it up for some people and bring some different things to the table here.
Speaking of Feel Goods crew, dude, have you been listening or keeping tabs on anything Cosmos?
Cosmos, yeah. I mean, I heard that they're trying to be out more in the community. They're getting things rolling. I think the season tickets are dropping, right? Or they just
They
dropped
dropped last week.
last week. They're getting ready to play at Hinchcliffe Stadium, Patterson, New Jersey. Yeah, a lot of excitement around the Cosmos, but they're playing in what league? USL one or
Two.
two? Two. Okay.
USL two.
Okay.
But USL making this whole bid or play for like promotion relegation. That's a home run.
It is. Do you think that'll ever creep up on MLS? I mean, I know it's a big
I think if
question.
MLS next got big, like big, where it was older kids playing in MLS next, and you can, yeah, I think at some point you could put up a fight for that. At some
Isn't
point.
MLS Next Pro just a development, like purposely just for
So now they're
development?
changing it. Supposedly, like I don't know all the details yet, so I don't want to give all the wrong answers. But it's becoming like a youth league. So now, like in high school, Mark was explaining to me that you can have an option of joining an MLS Next club or playing high school, which is a freaking game changer.
That's wild. That's crazy for the schools too, because that means
Yeah.
they lose all their good players.
Yeah, but it's true. Like, think about it. If you're looking to get to the next level, right? Like, if you're not playing for the Don Boscos, the Del Bartons, like the competition, right? Who you playing? A bunch of dead other high school kids. So, like, at least in an MLS Pro, though, you're playing like competition on another level
True.
that like
Do you have
helps
to
you
pay
get to
for
where
that?
you're trying to get to.
Pay?
Huh?
Do you have to pay to be
Yeah,
in the
Of
team?
course. Come on. There's nothing free out here, bro.
Well, I don't know
There's
if there's
nothing.
some kind of deal with being on an MLS affiliated team. MLS teams have money now, some money. You would
Yeah,
think they're all affiliated. Like if someone's on RB2, so they're getting paid nothing. So that's why Mo Sofo's taking chicken fingers from the fucking. I'm just kidding, Mo. I love you, Mo. I love you, Mo Sofo. I take a few chicken fingers too. I'm hungry, man.
bro. Yeah, sometimes those press meals are trash, bro. You got to go order the chicken fingers,
Yeah. No more
dude.
Delaware North either. Shout out RB Experience.
Oh yeah. Shout out RB Experience, dude. Quick question: are you gonna try to do any of the playoffs, NYC?
That'd be pretty cool. I know Zaha will be there. It's something I can look into for sure. I actually have a friend down in Charlotte. If he's listening, I don't know, Zach Hess. So he'll definitely want to hear my input on this game and this series. But yeah, it's something that can definitely work. And I also heard that NYCFC is playing all their playoff games in Yankee Stadium, which is interesting. What are your thoughts on that? Why Yankee Stadium?
I'm assuming. I'm assuming it's more for logistical stuff. I think it's easier to move, a little easier to take control of everything because Yankee security is super tight. I think it could be that. I don't know, but I thought they would have chose Queens, man. Queens, bro. Queens is a vibe, man, on game day. I thought it would have been Queens. If I were them, I would have chose Queens.
Yeah.
I would have chose Queens. But whatever, man. It's on them. They chose it. They got to rock with it now, right?
Yeah, it's just Queens just because like their stadium's getting built there, so you would, it's kind of the same
That's what I
vibe.
thought too. Like you would see like whatever's happening,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Rectify the demons from last year. Maybe is that why? Because Red Bull beat them 2-0 in City
In
Field
City Field, maybe
in the
that could
last
be,
playoff
maybe,
game.
maybe. Dude, I remember. Was it last year the playoff game? Yeah, when they were like, if they would have had to play, if there was a home game for NYC, they wouldn't have had a stadium. So they were like trying to figure out where would they have played. That somebody was like, listen, they're not going to play at Red Bull. They're not going to give them a fucking home game. So they were going to think about going to Connecticut. That would have been crazy. That would have been fucking nuts.
Which is crazy to think if everyone listening is that still Sports Illustrated Stadium is the only soccer specific stadium in the tri-state. Just think about that. Between Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York, that is the only stadium. So that's why it's called New York. They play in New Jersey for the Metro Stars because that's where it all started. That's why the team, you got to understand the team's history. Not many people, they just come and look at the book cover and they're just like, all right, you guys are energy drink people, soccer, right? But yeah, fuck it, right? But Red Bull's still kind of a new thing, I think. It's still growing on anyone. And same with NYCFC. They got a lot of work to do. They got to make some noise in the playoffs, and we'll see if they could rectify some of those demons from last season.
Yeah, they gotta hope that it all gets sorted out because they have a great team, man. It'd be such a shame for them to make this all go to shit right now. I mean, for them it would be. For you, it would be great, but for them, it wouldn't be a
Yeah.
good look.
Yeah, and that's just how it is in sports. I mean, I love that little rivalry that we have now between Red Bulls and City fans. We root for against each other and stuff, and that's just the way it's gonna be, man. Either blood or crip, red or blue. That's how it is. That's how it is.
No.
Sometimes. But seriously, Charlotte's a really formidable team. They're gonna have that stadium, NFL stadium, packed. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the battle. That's the battle of the non-soccer specific stadiums right there. One's playing an NFL stadium, one's playing in a baseball stadium, and this is where the MLS is at. They've still got ways to go. It's still a young, expanding league. The league's only 30 years old, so
Yeah, bro. 30 years old.
you got to think about other these baseball and the Giants. Everything's been here for a long time, so MLS is still waiting to get into that Big Four conversation. And I'll just leave you with this question because I think it's important for us, because things are supposed to grow over time, right? Things get bigger, more people find out, start supporting from all over the place. But how long will it take for the MLS, you know, will MLS ever be included in that conversation of the top five sport leagues, top four?
After the World Cup, yeah. After the World Cup, when everybody is still on that little World Cup hangover here from New Jersey, baby. After the final, you're gonna know. You're gonna see that it's gonna take because it happened. It happened the last time. So this time I expected, and you know what? We're going into it this time because the last time it came after. This time it's already here, and we already have the Suns. We already have the Messis. So like the Lewandowskis. I mean, Mueller's. So like, it's a good time. It's a good time for the MLS to capitalize on this final being played here in New Jersey and also in the United States. The whole tournament, here, Canada and Mexico. So it's a home run.
Along with potentially changing the entire schedule.
I'm against that, but yeah, I guess you're about that life, right?
Sounds like they're going to do it. That's the only, reason why I'm bringing it up because after the World Cup and then like I'm saying, maybe Chicago gets their stadium built, New York City gets their stadium built. There's a whole calendar change. It could be for the best. What they're doing right now, we're just hanging out with Apple. It's still kind of quiet, but I think so. I think the World Cup's going to be a big springboard for the MLS. Let's hope they take advantage of it, and let's hope the local teams take advantage of it too. I mean, that's a good talking point. Can NYCFC, can the New York Red Bulls scoop up a lot of these fans that are going to be eyes in this area for the New York, New Jersey World Cup? Can we bring in someone else other than Timo Werner? We shall see.
I'll see.
Red Bulls got some shopping to do.
That's it.
That's it, man. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us. This is a TNV exchange conversation.
Woo!
Your boy Steve Pontecorvo, Jorge.
Jumpy, my man.
Let me show you guys something
Yeah,
different.
show us a kiss. Show us something.
You know what? No kits right now. I'm doing jackets. It's fall season, moving into the fall. I got a couple nice. I got a PSG fleece right here.
That's fire.
Classic opal. Nothing on the back, little check mark. Okay, we all about the checks, and if you like stripes,
That's
and if you like
fire.
stripes, I got a little Bayern Bundesliga. These are good for chilling in the house, watching some footy, playing some FIFA. You know how it be.
I
You know
love
how it
those,
is.
bro.
You know how we rock. This is what it is, man. It's the world of footy. We're right here.
TNV, baby.
TNV Clothing. You know where we find us. Our handles, TNV Clothing.
At the
Jorge
Exchange FC.
at the Exchange FC. Talking about exchange of shirts. You got to give us next episode. I want to hear an exchange story
All
about
right, we'll see.
about.
Oh, I actually had a good one. I actually had a good one with a player. I mean, I didn't receive anything back yet, but I had a good one. I'll bring it up next episode.
Okay. All right. Good.
All right.
Yeah, that should be a little segment for us.
Nice, nice. Yeah. I forgot I had a little thing with Max. Yeah, definitely. I'll holler at you. We'll make it happen, man. Next week we'll bring it up.
You think so this is it for the Red Bulls last week? You think they win or no? They're done.
These are predictions. I'm gonna say Red Bull lose.
Yeah. Going out on the road.
Going out on the
Rotation.
road, they lose like 3-1.
Yeah. I'd say so too. And then they pack it in, and we'll be coming at you next week to cover the result of that, and we'll see where everyone lands for MLS playoffs in the East and the West. Should be interesting. It's gonna be fun little MLS Cup playoffs here. Even I could just kind of sit back and not fucking worry about it, honestly.
You can enjoy it as a fan. You can enjoy it right now.
No stress, Red Bulls fans. We gotta look on the bright side. We gotta look somewhere, but we'll be fucking back. You know us. We're the Metro Boys. Red Bull Redemption will come soon. Do not worry. All right, everybody. Thanks again.
Peace.
Have a good night.